Thank you very much, and very happy to join the event today. Uh, yeah, just a couple of brief remarks from my side to add to the previous speakers. Indeed, we have after after over 10 weeks since the war started on the 7th of October, we have an abundance of prima facie and other evidence of genocide and ethnic cleansing, which is closely related in that the act of genocide seems to be primarily intended by Israel to further ethnically cleanse Palestinians from historic Palestine and starting on this occasion with the Gaza Strip and increasingly also with the West Bank. So we have an abundance of evidence of both intent, genocidal and intent aimed at ethnic cleansing, as well as actions on the ground. I mean, the bombings, the evacuation orders, the systemic attacks of public infrastructure, hospitals, schools, water reservoirs, solar panels, and etc. So there's a lot of evidence, and yet legal action seems to be slow. This is partly inherent, I believe, in sort of the use of courts and measures of legal action to enforce accountability. Partly also because of the relatively premature or undeveloped state of the mechanism of international accountability. When I studied international law 30 years ago or 35 years ago, I remember very well my professor saying, dear students, the 20th century was the era of codification of international law, and the 21st century is that of enforcement, and that's going to be your job, young lawyers, and so there's partly the state that the ICC is still relatively young. The experience of the ICC of the ICJ with respect to genocide is still fairly limited. So there's this structural element. Then there's the element that the other speakers have alluded to, the strong politicization. So what do we need to do? And I believe that all efforts have to be on the accountability. That's the only thing that is going to stop Israel and its enablers, which are not sort of sensitive to moral considerations and sort of look the other way in the face of all the evidence that is visible on our TV screens. So all focus on accountability, which entails ongoing pressure on the office of the prosecutor, and there has been a lot of pressure on Khan in different contexts, and that just needs to continue as loud and clear as possible. And then, indeed, one of your main inquiries for today's webinar is, why has the ICJ not been used as an instrument to hold Israel and its enablers to account? One important factor there is of course the ongoing pressure by the United States and Israel that unfortunately seems to have scared a lot of states away of sort of taking this step. What Gambia did vis-a-vis Myanmar and the Rohingya is a step that so far has not been taken by any other state party to the convention until this moment. Also here, pressure needs to continue, and and pressure by civil society is critical in that aspect, in that respect.
Yes.
And certainly also the use of national court. Lama already referred to that. I mean, this is also a tremendous potential for holding perpetrators of war crimes and crimes against humanity to account, and needs to be pursued more systematically. And I can make a few further comments about that later in the webinar.